Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today yoga yin class. This class is going to be a gentle flow, beginner friendly. We're going to be focusing on the hips. My name is Federica and I'm going to be teaching this class for today. The intention of yin is promoting something that is restorative both for the body and also for the mind and the spirit. We're going to be working on the awareness of the breath, a peaceful space within and around. We're going to go to see how to set up the space. This class is going to be mostly in a seated position. We're going to have at the end some position with flying down on the back and a final relaxation. You may have your mat. As you can see, I have a comfortable mat for today. Some props. I haven't got blocks today. I'm going to be using the cushion as a block. You could use your yoga block. Extra cushions for more comfort. When we do the relaxation at the end, if you feel like you would like to have extra comfort, you could have a blanket. This class is going to go for 30 to 40 minutes. When you rewatch the video for your own practice, feel free to slow down or speed up, whether you prefer to hold the pose for longer or for more. Most of the poses, we're going to be holding them for 1 up to 3 or 4 minutes. Again, feel free to stay more for better benefits. Yin Yoga is a practice that promotes relaxation and goes to target also the connective tissue of the body. Throughout the class, I'm going to provide you with modification and variation so you can adapt each pose in a way that is respectful of your body and your condition. And before we get started, let's remember what are the 3 tatas, the 3 principles of Yin Yoga. First, we aim to approach each pose to a certain depth. You want to enter into a pose and we'll see how to get in and how to get out, trying to find resistance felt within the body in a way that is not painful for the joint, but you can feel. So you do want to find an appropriate depth. Second, you want to resolve to be still. You're going to try to remain still as we hold the pose. And third and last, hold the pose for time. For better health benefits, including on our spirit, the breathing, and the effect on the body, we're going to be holding the pose. So let's begin. We normally begin creating our space. And you could sit in your mat. I want to sit in a seated position, crossing the legs. As giving guidance on variation, I personally am going to adapt specifically for knee injuries and knee joints, so you may relate or not, and I'm going to be providing you with different alternatives. For example, you could go into your full lotus or you cross your legs and your feet are up to your thighs. If you have discomfort in your hips of a pregnancy, you could have a pillow underneath your hips in a way that your hips remain elevated comparing to your knees level. That's very important. So you feel free to close your eyes if you want to and just settle in, find your breath, find the rhythm of your breath. You can place your hands on your lap with the palms facing the ceiling, or just have the hands in front of the heart. We're going to begin today practice chanting the Home chant. If you've never tried before, try generating sound from your mouth. We're going to start with the mouth fully open, and then halfway open, and then with the lips fully closed without moving the tongue. Take a nice deep breath. Find your energy. You can continue to remain with your eyes closed. And just maybe your hands, wrap them together, allow the heat, that energy flow to be felt. As you remain with your eyes closed, raise your hands in front of your face and open them like if you're opening a book. Absorb for a moment that heat, the energy. And we gently start with our first position, which is going to be butterfly. From here, same advice. If it's better for us to elevate the hip, we're going to be sitting on a block or a pillow. You can place your feet together. Hands could be resting on the ankle and allow the knees to come as low as you can comfortably closer to the ground. From this position, we mind the pelvis not to be tilted forward. We try to move them back and lengthen the spine forward. I always recommend to have the shoulders in a comfortable position. If this position is not comfortable for you, as we hold the pose for 2 minutes in this butterfly pose, which is very good for our lower back, our hips and our knees, you could place the block even at the front if you have a short block like this, and lean forward, resting your forehead at the top. Keep staying in that position as I took you through. If you are not in a space where you can have a clock or you can watch the time, then you can count simply your breath. And as you inhale into your nose, up to 5 counts, and then slowly exhale and breathe out any tension, anything that no longer serves you, and just connect deeper and deeper with each and every breath during the practice with your body, any energy. Allow that relaxation to sink in. You can resolve to be still in the pose, although if it feels like beneficial, you can even reach more forward as your joints start to release and let go. In this butterfly position, so you're going to stay here for a few more breaths. This is very good to affect the urinary bladder line and the gallbladder as well. It's very good to have on the knees. As soon as the more we stretch forward, the more we stretch further back. Those of you more flexible, you may find yourself comfortable coming all the way with your forehead close to your knees. To get out of the pose, gently lean back, lengthen your spine up towards the ceiling, and begin to move your hands behind you. Counter pose is going to be windshield wipers. So we point the knees up to the sky, allow space between the feet, and gently move the knees side to side. If you see me watching forward sometimes, I'm keeping track of the time as we go through the class. Again, if you don't have a clock available, you just can count your breath. We can move, and it's a very gentle release for the knees and the hip as well. We counterbalance right to left. It's good to bring the balance in both sides of the body, and then we come to our next position. So slowly, gently sit back, open, straddle, fold, dragonfly. This position is very good to open the hips. For a pregnancy or any discomfort in the hip, you could place a bolster or a block forward. Even allow your forearms to rest. If you're very flexible, you can come all the way with your hands reaching forward and the forehead being relaxed to the floor. We're going to stay into dragonfly position for up to 3 minutes. If you feel benefit like staying more, you can pause the video and stay for longer. If there's tightness at the back of the hamstring, what we can do is lift the knees up. If that's you, you may find comfortable by placing a pillow or a block underneath the thigh, and this will take some pressure off the knee position. You can go within in your quiet space. As we reach forward with the spine, we're targeting the meridians of the urinary bladder lines. It's a very nice opening for the hips. Again, always try to be mindful. The hips may try to roll forward, especially if there's a lot of tightness on the lower back or for the hamstring. So each breath and relaxation, we try to heel the hips into a neutral position. Those of you who are more flexible, even with the hips reaching back. Stay in your dragonfly position for a few more breaths. Its benefits are reaching also your liver, your kidney, the spleen, at the back of the leg or the knees. Gently coming back out and returning to windshield wipers. You can stay upright with the head just over the line of your hips, or good to open up the heart and the shoulder. I like to lean back in this position with the hands on the wrist in a comfortable position. If you can't take your breath, nice slow breath in into the nose. Exhale gently through the nose. And you can move as gently, as slowly as that feels nice for your knees, your hips, your ankles, joints. Next, we're going into child pose. And this is a very good position to allow us a stretch for the hips and the lower back. I'm reaching out and looking for my pillow. I'm going to demonstrate adjustment, as I mentioned, for my knee. So I really like to position a pillow at the back of the thighs and the knees. The hands, once we position, I'm gonna allow space to check the neck. Allow the most neutral position for the spine, the neck part of your spine. And as your forehead is rested and comfortable on the floor, Lengthen the arms. Now this may happen if the shoulder blades come forward. Guide them away from the crown of the head and relax into child pose for more. If you find this position is not too comfortable for you, then you could also have a block and rest your forehead. I'll show you. In this way, we take pressure off the head and the neck has a chance to relax even better, like this. This position may not be too comfortable or recommended for pregnancy or diarrhea. For pregnancy, I'm going to suggest you a different position, which is Anahatasana. It's very good to open the heart. In that case, from tabletop position, as I'm demonstrating, you're gonna reach back with the hip and slowly, gently reach forward with your arms. This would allow space for the belly. Feel free to be supported also with your forearms on the floor if that feels like a better support for your lower spine. Gently, we're moving into caterpillar position. Returning to a seated position, I'm going to demonstrate this pose from two parts and you're gonna hold the pose for 2 minutes. So sit with the hips back. You know, you have the option to sit on a block if that's better for your hip, and also to maintain the hips more elevated comparing to the knee levels for some of you. Tension at the back of the thighs, then place a block underneath your knees and gently slower bend your knees. In caterpillar pose, as we fall forward, we're stimulating all the lines along the spine, urinary bladder meridian. Try to relax the forehead forward. If you have another block, you could position the block underneath the forehead. This is a very good position. I really like this one. There's a stretch that you can promote also at the back of the ankle by slowly changing feet position and pointing the toes up to the sky, stretching the plantar fascia of the feet. If that's too much for you, just keep your feet in a relaxed position. When we keep the feet in a relaxed position, this is actually more of the principle and the core essence of Yin Yoga. So try to maintain the pose in a way that is not active and you can just relax and feel. Allow your connective tissue to be stimulated and the body, the joints, to adapt to the pose. We're slowly coming out of caterpillar position, and for the next minute, we're going to return to our child position. Again, for pregnancy, you may prefer Anahatasana or your child position. If you can sit with your hips fully on your heels. This is good for the ankle joints, our knees, and the lower spine. Or make adjustment as is nice for you with a block underneath the forehead, or even a pillar or a block underneath the thighs. Find your quiet space within. And notice if there's any change, any deeper relaxation, any easiness on the joints, on your whole body. To get out of the pose, slowly place the hands on the floor. Move the floor away from you. Return gently into a seated position. Our next position is going to be shoelace. You're going to see a big variation in this one for my knees, and I'll tell you how to make it more effective if you're comfortable going more. Right leg on the floor, you're going to move the left knee all the way up. Now in a full shoelace, you want the foot to come all the way up to the side, and ideally both of your hips are seated on the floor. Feel free to sit on a block if that makes that easier. Your knee may come way closer to the floor. Now if you come from a bodybuilding background and you have wider muscle mass, as is my case, you may find it a little bit more challenging to also find that greater flexibility. Wherever you are, that's perfect. That's your very good start position. Remember, try to approach the pose with a depth that is appropriate for you, to remain still and to hold the pose for time. As you stay with your breath and you can manage to slow down and balance and harmonize the pace of each and every breath a little bit longer, you may find already the hips, the knee joints starts to ease a little bit more. In this position, if you're folding forward, you're stimulating the meridians around the urinary bladder. Generally coming out of the pose by moving the knee up and the foot to the side, moving the other knee up towards the ceiling, windshield wipers a few times. You can go slow, you can go a little bit faster. If you count up to 5 to 6 breaths, that's a minute. And after this pose, one of my favorite one, we're going to go into a dragon variation, which is going to be wing dragon. So for that position, we're starting to tabletop, like if we drawing a table with the hands underneath our shoulder, knees underneath our hip, and we step forward with our left foot. I'll show you from this side first so it's easy to see. Depending on the tightness of your knees, your hip, and your comfort, you could remain with the knees closer or slide far away with the other knee. For winged dragon, we're gonna aim to have the forearms all the way to the floor. Now lots of good stimulation around the hip, the liver, the spleen, urinary bladder as we fold forward. Forearms could be on the floor. If you have a blanket or a bolster, you can have your forearms resting on it. And for like creating a wing for our dragon, we aim to drive the body weight towards the outer edge of the foot and slowly roll out. You'll feel a bigger hip. Now work with your breath. Create that calmness within. If you find your breath raising up or speeding up, bring calmness and peace and rebalance the pace of your breath until it becomes comfortable. We can hold in this position for 1 more minute. You can make changes. Again, some of you, if there is tension at the back underneath the kneecap, you may have a blanket or something soft at the back of the knee. To come out of this pose, try to use your hands to move the floor away from you. With your knee back into that tabletop position, we're going into our counter pose, a downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, lift the hip to the sky. Imagine you're moving the floor away. Excellent for our ankles stretching out the back of the thighs, the lower back, the spine. We're lengthening around the back of the shoulders and for the arms. Allow your forehead to relax and hold downward facing dog for 1 more minute. Continue to breathe through this pose just a few more times. What you can do, a variation if you feel tight at the back of your thighs, is imagine you bringing your dog for a walk. That's what we say. So you can soften one knee and allow one heel at a time to go close to the floor. If both of your knees are up, then you can bend them and trying to reach towards the floor with your knees. Returning to a tabletop position, and gently we're going to balance with the other side of the body. Shoelace on the other side. We lower the left leg, we move the right knee up and go across. This is my very, very gentle on the knees variation, which if you can relate to the condition, you can adjust similarly. If you want to go deeper with your shoelace, then allow your knee to be much lower and the foot to come to the side. Ideally, you can bring your feet all the way to the side. Start lengthening the spine, excellent for the hips and the lower back, and fold forward into full shoelace if you can. We hold in this position today for 2 minutes. This is also very good to stimulate the meridians of the liver, the kidneys, gallbladder. The more you fold forward, the more urinary bladder meridian is going to get activated. Very nice. As you set up your practice, if you find it nice, you can also have some gentle music in the background. We come out of the pose with the knees up to the sky. We make sure our hips are comfortable on the floor. We lift the heart and gently windshield wiper side to side. Feel as you repeat the sequence on the other side of the body as that changes and allow more opening and restoring that opening on your right and left side of the body. Winged dragon on the other side. So we're going to come back our tabletop position and very gently take a step forward with our right foot this time. You may be able to see more. I'm going to lift my torso so that you can better see the hip position. We square the hip, we offer them to the front. In the initial position, I like to lift the heart up towards the ceiling and then come with the heart on the floor. Forearms may be closer to the floor. Try to stay centered in this position as we saw earlier to help the spine and the hips. Forearms may rest on the floor. Few breaths in this position. To open up the wing of the dragon, the knee may go out to the side with the foot using the outer edge of the foot. Slowly remove your props with your hands, come up and return downward facing dog next. From tabletop position, we tuck the toes, lift the hip to the sky. Feel that nice stretch through your feet, the back of the ankle, back of the knees, the thighs, the lower back. Try to relax your head, your neck, your shoulders for a moment. Really feel the opening at the back of the hips. Beautiful. Allow your downward facing dog for another couple of breaths. And really try to concentrate using your palm, like running your hands on the mat or on the floor. Bend your knees softly and return gently on the mat. Now we're close to the end of the practice. Our next position is going to be happy baby. So we create space to come with the back on the floor. And this time we're gonna open up for the front of the hip. Bring your knees up to your chest, hold your feet and open to the side. Try to have your knees coming as closer to the ground as you can. Now you can stay in this position for longer. If you find it easier, adjust the distance of your knees. If you're not too comfortable reaching your feet, some of you may find it easier to reach on the leg. Stay longer in this position. Nice, deep, gentle breath. This is a very good also to stimulate the meridians of the urinary bladder, the spleen, the liver, the kidneys. It's such a happy position. I always like to cue. You can lift up your spirit and also smile like a happy baby. We hold this position for 2 minutes and we're gonna come to the very end. It's good to finish the practice before Shavasana with a twisted position. So recline twisting position, you should be able to see. Bring your knees all the way to one side. Imagine you want to lengthen the spine. So here we're providing a gentle twist for the spine. Arms could be along the side. Urinary bladder meridians, lines are working. If we manage to move the hands up to the sky, then also we're opening up the lungs, the heart. Relax your forehead, relax your shoulders. You can stay here for 1 to 3 minutes. This is excellent also to relieve gastritis, to provide toning in the stomach, and it's very good for the nervous system. To get out of the pose, gently move the hands, feet on the floor, and adjust to twist on the other side. Now this position, this is a variation with both of your knees together, but you could fully stretch one leg, and if you wanted to, have a block underneath the knee so that there's a little bit less pressure on your knees. Shoulder blades back, open the arms if you can, hands up to the sky. Nice gentle breath. Good, allow the yin to really promote that relaxation, to stimulate and prepare your connective tissue for better movement, for better day. A few more minutes, a few more breaths. When we're ready to come back to the center, we bring the knees together, move the spine and the pelvis on the floor, hug the knees to the chest. Now you can stay still or gently rock the knees side to side as a gentle counterpoise. We're finally reaching our Shavasana, our final relaxation for this class. Lengthen your leg, find your space. If you like the comfort of having a blanket, stay in that position. I'll talk you through. You could just have a nice blanket over the body to promote warmth. We are going to stay in this position. You can stay in this position 5 up to even 7 or 8 minutes, whatever you need. I'll show you some more variation for Shavasana. If you're with your eyes closed, maintain your eyes closed and stay with the practice. The palms can be up to the sky. For those who are stiff at the back of the thigh, you may also like to have a block or a bolster underneath the knees. This one may be too big to demonstrate, but it can promote a lots of relief also for the lower back. Continue to stay in your Shavasana position. We'll keep it for 3 more minutes. It's a wonderful way to finish the practice, to bring the practice, the yin practice, to a closure. To go deeper and deeper in your relaxation, you can, like imagining you're looking at your body from the outside, and slowly relax around your feet. Relax your ankles, your legs, your thighs. Feeling your body becoming oneness with your mat, with the ground supporting and holding you. So that relaxation through your hips, your lower back, your upper back. As your shoulder relax, the arms relax a little bit more, your forearms, your fingertips may start to fold inwards with that full relaxation and peaceful sensation. You can relax your neck, your face, your jaw, your cheeks, your eyes, your forehead are fully relaxed. Become oneness with your breath, with your prana, your life energy, and the one of those around you if you're practicing together with other people. Take a few more minutes. If you have set an intention at the beginning of the class, when we do the classes face-to-face, we generally journal or write on a little piece of paper, which is a very sweet practice, a little intention for the practice. If you have not done that at the beginning, you can do this now at the end. The intention, it may be something that is dear to you. It may be like calling for more clarity for your day, or going through the day with ease and flow. If there is any challenge or something that you're facing, you may take the opportunity to see how can you transmute the challenge and make it into an opportunity to grow and learn, or just uplift those emotions, your energy and vibration in a way that is positive, that is up, that is helping you for the better. Once you're ready, very gently keep your eyes closed. You can start to move your fingertips, your feet, your hands. You can start to circle your wrist from where you are and point and flex your feet. Gently fold on a side. I'll show you. So if you're on a side, you can position one hand at the back of your head. And you use your hands to move the floor away from you. Return to a seated position when you're ready. Cross your leg. This could be half lotus. It could be your full lotus position. Feel free to sit over the block, just to have the hips more elevated comparing to your knees. We'll finish the class with our Om chanting and final mantra for today. Place your hands in front of the heart and repeat together the 3 Oms. Namaste. Thank you so much for participating to the practice today. This final Oms was very quiet. If you're in a position where for whatever reason you need to be quiet, it's okay. Even to have a very low tonality, you still find as you connect with it will stimulate the vagus nerve. You will be able to feel the vibration from your hips like a cup vibrating all the way up to the crown of your head. So give yourself permission to practice even with the mantra and the chanting. Thank you so much for practicing. Thank you.